Guys, welcome to the big box store clamshell shootout. I know it's funny, but we're just going to make a little fun video talking about these saws, getting them out there firsthand and in the wood. I know it's not the best wood. I just found the quickest thing I could find and clamped it in the wood splitter, and we cut away. Let's get back here and talk what I did with this Poland Wild thing, non-strato, older style Poland, probably mid 2000s. The sticker was removed, so I'm not 100% sure on it, but I basically took this saw, modified it for my buddy who wanted just a chainsaw for around the yard. I said, let me hook you up, man. I'll do it up. I replaced the fuel lines. We put a carb kit on here. We ported the cylinder. New clutch and sprocket. A couple other things I think I did, NGK plug, and pretty much got him something. I said I could get you something that will run with the big name saws in the range displacement, hopefully. And it turned out pretty good, guys. Let's come back here and talk what I did to this saw, what kind of modifications I did. We'll talk a little bit about port timing numbers. Talk about the Strato saw it went up against the newer style Poland. The Mac 3200 is an awesome saw. I was very surprised in the video. I was saying that this was the runner-up from my ported saw, and the Strato stock Poland 42cc did beat this one. But hey guys, this is a 32cc. It's a smaller displacement. But if I were to have just this saw and that Strato 42cc, I'd be grabbing this one if I wanted to limb some stuff up around the yard. It's a little heavy, but it's a likable saw. It really is. Let's get back here and take a look, guys. I apologize for the background noise, but here they are. I know this is not the right side cover for this saw. I was having a little trouble with the other one, but we had to do a lot of stuff for this. Oh, and it's a new ignition coil on here too. It was breaking up, so and once it got warm, it was breaking up in high RPM, and it took me a little bit to figure it out because it was running good 1 minute and the next minute it was breaking up, and it had me scratching my head a little bit, but we finally figured that out. So here we have a Poland Wild thing, pretty much the same saw, exact same saw. I got a few of them. I got one down here. This is the 50th anniversary. I don't know if I showed you guys yet, but that's going to be a special project, and you guys are going to see it. That thing is so fresh. 180 psi on the cylinder. It's a fresh saw. Anyhow, I just have this on the wheel because I forgot to write down the stock timing numbers when I did the saw up. So I did this for you guys. I put it on the timing wheel just so you could know the stock timing numbers. And I had this cylinder sitting on the bench for some time, and you'll hear me say in the video that I didn't raise the exhaust roof when I did. I didn't go much. I did go 3 degrees. I went a little bit further on the width of the exhaust. You just want to keep in mind, guys, you don't want to go more than 70% of your bore. On a lot of these saws, even the 295 46cc's, the 260s, both great saws, the yellow saws, they have the plated cylinders. Some odd reason, the Wild thing with the same port numbers as like the 260 have aluminum bore versus the plated cylinder, which is a little odd, all in the same era. And you think them, putting out the Wild thing, they would have threw the plated cylinder on there as well. I never could understand that, but there's a look at the piston in there, and then in here you got a little kind of baffle plate. I've removed those before to gain a little power. I can't honestly say if I actually felt a difference. Probably more so on a muffler mod, because I always combined pulling that baffle out along with doing a muffler mod. I have an old Poland 40cc back here. Where is that? Right here. This thing runs really good. I should have brought her out. It has an exhaust mod and that baffle removed. That exhaust could probably, that outlet of that exhaust could probably be a little smaller. I might try some stuff with that, but man, this thing has been a great saw. It's the 2500 Poland there. As you know, I'm a big Poland head. They're cheap, easy to bore into and not get your feelings hurt if you mess a cylinder up or something. But this thing runs really good. I'm gonna have to get this thing out a little bit and play with it for you guys to see. Man, this is like my go-to, like there's not real big stuff to buck in the yard saw. I will not get rid of this. I know there's probably not much for parts for this thing, but I just really love the saw. I did the muffler mod. It's the two-piece style muffler that's really easy to gut and pull the baffle out of there. If you think about it, guys, that expansion chamber in there, on the pipe on these is just really small from factory, and if you can take it to where you take the guts out and you have this whole area as like an expansion chamber for these things, it really wakes them up, guys. So you can kind of look what I did to this thing here. I kind of just drilled a hole through here and I gutted it and then popped this out. I thought about doing dual, but yeah, I didn't want to open it up too much. I really was striving to make power, but I just wondered if I would do like a little bullhorn and a little bull looking two pipes coming out of there, what it would do. Yeah, I'm going to try not to jump around too much on you guys. I have a tendency to do that sometimes. But yeah, I mean, you know, pull that baffle out. It'll wake these things up if you don't want to do the porting. But this was just kind of thrown together so I could pull the stock timing numbers. And right here is the stock timing numbers. We have the exhaust at 108 on the stock exhaust. I just pulled these numbers on the saw. Intake was 76 degrees. The transfers are 123 with 18 degrees blow down, and the squish on this saw was 30 thousandths. Now this goes to show you sometimes you might get better performance out of one versus the other, and this is just how it goes. Well, on the saw I ported over here, I had a 23 thousandth squish on that saw. So obviously we didn't do anything to change the squish on these clamshell engines. So yeah, the stock duration on the exhaust was 144, and then the intake duration is 152, which is pretty good. And as you can see, my ported numbers didn't change much, which we cannot see in the duration really. I did widen the exhaust, poked her open a little bit, and raised the exhaust roof to 150 degrees, and then the duration to 152. We still were at 150 psi on the cylinder, which was awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to throw out those numbers there for you guys. Yes, if you look closely, you can see where these will have the ridge on the top here. Right there, there's a ridge, and you can take some of that off. Now you could also just widen a little bit of this exhaust up on, you know, each side obviously, and make more RPM too. But it was awesome that I, you know, only took about 3 degrees off here and still kept 150 psi on the cylinder, which was very cool. Has plenty of good compression. The thing run really good out there, as you're about to see. In comparison to these two, you can tell. Now, you know, you can manipulate to make people think whatever, guys. I get it with doing these cuts and how sharp a chain is compared to the other. And all three of these were sharp, and I get it. Like, people can go on for days on different variations and stuff to make these cut better. But I assure you, all three of these chains were sharp. As we got further back, it all seemed about the same diameter from the pieces, looking at them on the ground, but it did get rotten as we started to go back further, as you'll see in the video. But these things were just get them out, play around with them, and just show you just what the difference was from the ported Wild Thing to the stock Wild Thing back here, and then the Mac 3200. I threw this in here because I knew it'd be a contender in comparison to the stock Strato Poland 42 cc's, and it is. Like, guys, like you can run this and then hop on that thing, and that Strato 42. Now in the videos it's a little rich, but it's not going to change that much. It was just a little rich. I could probably bring the RPM up a little bit in the cut, but those Stratos are funny sometimes because I've tried that and then they go too lean. So I don't know if anybody else can comment or say they've had better success with those, but I just don't. Now, not until you mod them. You open the exhaust up and stuff on them. I think that really will help those newer Stratos out, like just on the muffler mod on there. But and mind you guys, she had the 16-inch bar, so it wasn't pulling as much bar. Now don't let this fool you. I know it says 38 cc, but this is a 42 cc saw. I don't know why Poland did that. Something behind maybe big box stores, but as you can see, it's a 42 cc. All the part numbers are the same. I had another video out on that too, kind of talking about that a while ago, just how odd that was. Yeah, so here's a better look. So I basically just I took these two caps that slide in there on the underside of this for your bolts to go into, and by removing them, that made this whole cavity in here larger. So I knew we would gain a little bit. Now this actually, no, this is a 295 exhaust. And then, like I say, I opened it up inside there, and then I stubbed that pipe out of there. I thought that was not bad looking for something quick and easy. But yeah, so it's definitely got the exhaust mod. It's retarded a few degrees. I need to clean this up before I get it to my buddy, but I wanted to actually do a lot of testing with it, and I'm still not done yet, guys. I retarded the timing on this like 4 degrees, somewhere in there. And because I knew, with the setup that it had, it was, it's about 11,000 RPM saw. I'm sure it can peak out to about 12,000 RPM. So that's why, I was really just trying to not let it get flat up top, and I wanted to bring them a little bit more power in the higher RPM. So I did retard the timing a little bit on this, and it responded pretty good to that. And I was thinking about actually following it the other way and fooling around with advancing the timing, but where I started to get the RPM going in the cut, and I just really liked the difference from retarding it. So it was it still had some pull going through the wood, but still wouldn't bog down in RPM too much, if that makes any sense at all. So it was a great build. I'm very satisfied with it. Could we do some other tweaks here and there? Yeah, we definitely could, guys. But you're only going to do so much. Again, I got a video out on these clamshells, and you're kind of limited, to do too much with this. Now, could we go a bigger carb? Could we try and bore this carb and keep going with power? Yes, but I wanted to keep this reliable for my friend because it is going to be just a little work saw for him around the house. He doesn't have very many trees in his house. He just wants a chainsaw. If he's got to cut a limb or two up, he's got it. So just like a little residential souped up big box store saw is all it is. But I could ramble on for days, guys. And if you got any questions on the saw, drop in the comments down below. Let me know. Feel free to ask, guys. But without further ado, I got some clips for you guys, and I'm going to show you how these puppies ran. 42cc Poland Strato style, newer style. Stop like that cut. Just give me lean a little more, don't get me wrong. as you can see, they do the job, but they need help. This is bone stock. All right, the McCulloch 3200 Mac. I couldn't be more impressed with this saw. I don't have a straight screw on here. We'll see how she does. So I'm going to lay the bar into it like the stock 42 Poland was just doing. And I'm going to show you that this thing does have some good grunt to it. I was very impressed with this saw. It's the first time I ever ran one. Yeah, the low end grunt on this is it's nice. I should keep this thing. I thought I'd throw it in the mix here just for fun, guys, but this is one of my saws I do have out for sale. I just put all new fuel lines on. I'll drop that vid in the comments. Now we'll get the Poland Wild Thing non-strato older style out and see how she rips. 42 cc's. All right, let's see how she does, guys. Idle circuit, little rich, loading up a little bit. Try a few more cuts on it. See what I mean when I get that bar grinding in? It just keeps going. You know, the stock pulling 42 cc. Strato saw, it'll stop it every time. Until that. This is what's driving me nuts. Had a bad ignition coil. I got one of these rigged up on here for now. Do I get a better one? I just don't tighten up the back shroud there. He's running good, guy. I know, this is shit wood, but it's all I can get right now. Yeah, I like how she's running. She is running really good, guys. And this saw's gonna go to a buddy of mine. He wanted one. I said, "Dude, I can get you one." So he's gonna buy one off me. I said, "Let me do you one up." So I ported this for him, a reliable port job that I know should last, right? When you do anything too crazy with these port numbers, open the intake a little bit on the walls, and then, you know, raised the roof a little bit and lunged it out, and then we widened the exhaust. It stayed 150 psi on the compression. It didn't drop, you know, anything, because we didn't go up on the exhaust roof. then you're going to lose compression. That's less of a compression stroke. Let's run these two other ones again just for fun, guys, and then we can cross-reference the cuts, guys. So we'll get the mat going again, because obviously I think everybody could see that this is the runner-up. Good running saw here. I'd like to almost modify one of these. Oh, guys, and I did retard the timing on my ported one. The ignition timing probably about 4 degrees or so, if I were to guess. I bothered that a little bit, and she's ripping up top now. Got a good start. Like I say, it cools through the wood real good, as you can see. I'll show you again on the stock 42. Runs good, man. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think she's kicking this old girl's butt. That's for sure. And you can tell by running the saw. Obviously, you guys can't do that back there, but I can tell running the saw that it just definitely doesn't have the torque. It's not bad, but I think the old 3200, even being a smaller displacement, puts this old girl to shame. I'll get this warmed back up, guys, and we'll make a couple more cuts with it. Let's see if we can push this thing to get a little bit better time here. Oh, I don't need the choke. Now, obviously, this isn't fair. I'm in rotten wood. We'll run it. We'll still prepare for the fun, but as you can see there and there, we're getting any easier cut wood. See, if I can dig in, it'll bog it down. That don't happen with that ported girl. Alright, guys, we had a little fun.